What happens when Hollywood glitz collides with vows that rewrite the rulebook? From hush-hush castle ceremonies to live televised I-dos, these 10 queer unions didn't just make headlines, they shattered ceilings. Tonight, we're counting down the top 8 gay celebrity weddings that shocked the world, revealing how each couple turned a single walk down the aisle into a giant leap for LGBTQ+ visibility. Get ready for scandal-proof diamonds, rebel guest lists, and love stories so bold they forced the world to change its definition of happily ever after. Grab your popcorn, ring that bell, and drop a rainbow in the chat if you're ready to relive the weddings that made history. 1. Elton John and David Furnish. Rock royalty's love that changed the game. When Sir Elton John, the flamboyant music legend, found lasting love with Canadian filmmaker David Furnish, it was nothing short of a royal affair. They began their journey in 1993, and by 2005, as soon as civil partnerships became legal in the UK, they united on day one, making headlines around the globe. Cameras flashed and cheers erupted as two men in love legally pledged forever, a scene once unimaginable. In 2014, with same-sex marriage finally legal, they said "I do" again, this time with their young sons as witnesses. It was elegant and heartfelt, no less grand than any royal wedding. But what truly set their union apart was what they did with it. Elton and David turned their love into a force for change. They championed LGBTQ+ visibility and built the Elton John AIDS Foundation, raising over $500 million to fight HIV/AIDS. Glitz and glamour aside, and there was plenty, from matching tuxedos to star-studded parties, their marriage became a beacon of activism and hope. Sure, tabloids gossiped, David the quiet one in Elton's shadow, but the pair persevered with honesty and resilience. Decades on, they're revered as queer royalty, two husbands living authentically, raising sons, and proving that a love born outside the spotlight can still change the world in it. Elton sang about love for years, but with David by his side, he lived a love story that inspired millions. Drop a heart if you believe love this legendary deserves a standing ovation. 2. Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi. Right, the Hollywood rebels happily ever after. America fell in love with Ellen's humor, but in the 90s, her coming out rocked Hollywood and nearly ended her career. Fast forward to 2008. Ellen DeGeneres, TV's beloved comedian, stands hand-in-hand with actress Portia de Rossi, radiant in his love stories. Their journey from secret crushes to soulmates showed a generation that even the wildest storms can lead to a rainbow. Drop a 2 if you believe true love can weather any storm. 3. Ricky Martin and Jwan Yosef. The Latin pop idol who loved out loud. For decades, Ricky Martin's swiveling hips and smoldering looks made the world swoon, even as he carried a secret. In the late 90s, being an openly gay Latin pop superstar was unthinkable. Rumors swirled and interviewers pried, but Ricky stayed silent, afraid the truth would destroy his career. Then in 2010, he shattered the closet door with a brave declaration. "I am proud to say that I am a fortunate homosexual man," he wrote, freeing himself at last. Fans around the world cheered. Their idol was happier, and somehow even more authentic than before. But the real fairy tale was yet to come. In 2016, Ricky found love in the most modern way, on Instagram, with Jwan Yosef, a Syrian-Swedish visual artist. Jwan was not a spotlight chaser. He was thoughtful, grounded, the calm balance to Ricky's superstar energy. In 2018, the pair quietly wed in a private ceremony with zero fanfare. No magazine deals, no televised special, and the world only learned about it after the fact. The shock wasn't that they married, but how. Personally, sacredly, on their own terms. Together they built a beautiful family, raising 4 children and sharing tender glimpses of their life. Bedtime stories, finger painting, and pride-filled holidays. They also faced down cultural resistance, especially in Latin communities that once idolized Ricky in a very different light. Hateful comments and skepticism came, but Ricky and Jwan stood firm, hand in hand. In 2023, they announced their separation, amicable and full of respect. It wasn't the happily ever after fans dreamed of, yet there was no tragedy here. In the end, they had already made history, a global icon and a quiet artist. 4. Neil Patrick Harris and David Burtka. TV's Magic Man finds his forever. For a generation, Neil Patrick Harris was known as a womanizing legend on-screen, but off-screen he was writing a very different love story. In the mid-2000s, at the height of his How I Met Your Mother fame, Neil took a risk by coming out proudly as a gay man, defying industry worries that it would ruin his career. Instead, he became more popular than ever, and by his side through it all was actor-chef David Burtka. They'd been together since 2004, weathering the public eye with a private devotion. For years, they wore engagement rings in secret, waiting for the law to catch up to their love. When New York finally legalized same-sex marriage in 2011, the pair announced they'd actually proposed to each other 5 years prior. Talk about patience. In 2014, their moment arrived. Neil and David whisked an intimate group of loved ones off to a castle in Perugia, Italy, for a destination wedding straight out of a storybook. The ceremony, officiated by the director of Neil's sitcom, was heartfelt and personal. Their 3-year-old twins stole the show, daughter Harper as an adorable flower girl, and son Gideon insisting on being the orange boy, cheerfully handing out oranges down the aisle. Even Sir Elton John performed at the reception, a musical blessing on their union. Fireworks lit up the Italian sky, and fittingly for a lifelong magician, Neil even worked a few magic tricks into the celebration. This wedding wasn't just a celebrity spectacle, it was the culmination of a 10-year romance that had already broken barriers. Here was a former child star turned Broadway icon, openly gay and thriving, marrying the love of his life with their children in tow. In the years since, Neil and David have become the poster family for modern LGBTQ+ love, sharing sweet glimpses of their Halloween costume extravaganzas and parenting adventures on social media. Their wedding shocked the world in the best way possible, by showing that sometimes the most magical love stories are the real ones. Drop a 4 if you believe love, when shared openly, create English countryside. The wedding was pure enchantment. Tom in a tailored midnight blue suit, and Dustin in a classic tux, exchanging vows under a canopy of flowers in front of close family and friends. Two men from different worlds, sports and cinema, standing up to promise forever. It was intimate yet revolutionary, a symbol of how far LGBTQ+ visibility had come. But the truly game-changing moment came a year later. In 2018, Tom and Dustin welcomed a baby boy via surrogacy. And once again, the headlines exploded. Some critics dared to question their decision to become dads, spewing tired cliches and homophobic doubts. The new fathers met the uproar with grace and pride. Tom shared adorable bedtime story snapshots, and Dustin spoke about the profound joy and chaos of raising a child as two dads. Their openness sliced through stigma, showing that a family built on love is as legitimate as any other. Today, Tom and Dustin are more than husbands. They're advocates and modern role models. What began as a secret wedding in a castle became a loud statement heard around the globe. That true love can not only conquer an age gap and media glare, but also redefine what family looks like. Drop a 5 if you believe love, no matter the odds, deserves a gold medal. 6. Barry Manilow and Gary Keefe. The secret romance that stunned generations. For years, Barry Manilow's love songs were the soundtrack of countless romances, yet the man behind the music hid a romance of his own. From the 1970s onward, Barry's adoring fans, mostly women, didn't know their idol was in love with a man, his manager and secret partner, Gary Keefe. In an era when coming out could end a career, Barry kept his truth private, fearing he'd disappoint those who loved him. Decades went by, rumors swirled, but he remained tight-lipped, smiling through interviews as if nothing was missing. Then, after 39 years together in April 2014, the world was floored to learn that Barry and Gary had married in a clandestine ceremony at their Palm Springs estate. Even many guests thought it was just a casual luncheon until, surprise, vows were being exchanged. It was perhaps the quietest superstar wedding ever. No cameras, no press. Just two soulmates finally saying yes to forever. The news didn't break until a year later, and at 73 years old, the pop legend officially came out to the public. Some braced for backlash. Would fans who hung on his every lyric feel betrayed? But what happened next was nothing short of heartwarming. When they found out that Gary and I were together, they were so happy, Barry marveled, adding, "I'm just so grateful for it." The world's reaction was a collective, "We're happy if you're happy." This shock wasn't a scandal. It was a celebration. Barry's timeless songs like Mandy and Can't Smile Without You took on new meaning as he embraced life as an openly gay married man. His late-life honesty proved it's never too late to live your truth. In the glow of acceptance, Barry and Gary's nearly 50-year love stands as a testament that some secrets are worth the wait, and that the music is sweetest when you can finally sing your own song. Drop a 6 if you believe love is ageless.
Style not to Here Comes the Bride, but to a custom mix of NSYNC-style harmonies. They had groomsmaids instead of bridesmaids, a wedding party in sharp tuxedos, a towering cake topped with 2 grooms. Every detail a playful twist on tradition. Yet beyond the sparkle, there were raw, real moments. Lance's voice trembling as he vowed to the man holding his heart. Michael wiping tears as they were pronounced partners for life. Their love was on full display, in a world that had rarely seen 2 men wed, let alone on primetime TV. Of course, blazing a trail came with heat. The couple faced snarky tabloids and online hate, and Lance knew the pressure of being a gay icon in an industry that had long forced artists to stay closeted. But they refused to hide. Over time, the noise quieted, and something beautiful happened. Fans old and new rallied behind them. In 2021, Lance and Michael welcomed twins via surrogate, a boy and a girl, fulfilling their dream of a family. They shared diaper duty selfies and humorous parenting tales, letting the world see that 2 dads and 2 babies make one loving home. Lance's journey from boy band heartthrob to proud gay dad defied every rule the industry tried to place on him. And in doing so, he and Michael gave countless others the courage to dance to their own rhythm. Drop a 7 if you've ever dreamed of a love story that breaks all the rules and still hits the high note. 8. Colton Haynes and Jeff Leatham. The fairy tale that became a whirlwind. In 2017, heartthrob actor Colton Haynes, known for Teen Wolf and Arrow, did something fans never expected. He came out publicly and almost immediately announced he was engaged. The lucky man was Jeff Leatham, a celebrity floral designer to the stars. Their romance felt like a lightning strike, sudden, bright, and magical. Jeff pulled out all the stops for the proposal in Paris, arranging handled themselves with grace. There was no bitter mudslinging, no drawn-out public drama. They had shared a moment of extraordinary love, and when it ended, they bowed out quietly. Colton emerged from that chapter stronger and more self-aware, later reflecting that not every love story is meant to last forever, and that's okay. For a brief time, he and Jeff gave the world a glimpse of pure romance, changing what many thought a gay celebrity wedding could be. Extravagant, heartfelt, and unabashedly dreamy. Their union, though short-lived, left an imprint on pop culture, proving that even a love that doesn't last can change lives and inspire millions. Drop a 8 if you believe even short love stories can leave a lasting bloom. And there you have it. 7 weddings that proved queer love doesn't whisper, it roars in couture. Some unions endured, some evolved. But every single yes pushed the spotlight wider for the next generation to step into. Which ceremony left you breathless? Type the couple's number or your favorite moment in the comments below. If these love stories lit up your heart, smash subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a single I do
reveal, or rainbow-soaked scandal. Up next, we're diving into the top 10 queer comebacks that Hollywood never saw coming. Until then, keep celebrating, keep advocating, and remember, visibility is the wedding gift we pass forward.